B-21 radar, the invisible future of air warfare amid rising geopolitical tensions and the rapid modernization of global military arsenals. The United States has announced a strategic move that marks the end of one era and the beginning of another, the retirement of the B-2 Spirit bomber. However, this decision does not signify a weakening of American air power, but rather a transition to an even more advanced platform designed for the challenges of the 21st century. The B-21 radar, in 1980s when American engineers launched projects like Half-Blue, which culminated in the iconic F-117 Nighthawk. For the first time, an aircraft was designed with a complete focus on radar invisibility, using angular shapes and materials that absorbed the electromagnetic waves emitted by enemy detection systems. From the F-117 to the B-2, the stealth journey with its flying wing design. The bomber took stealth to a whole new level. Conceived during the Cold War, its mission was clear: penetrate the most sophisticated Soviet defenses, deliver nuclear warheads with surgical precision, and return undetected. In terms of engineering and strategic capability, the B-2 was a remarkable feat, combining long-range, massive payload, and an extremely low radar signature. Rather than modify the old design, engineers chose to develop an entirely new aircraft from the ground up, incorporating lessons learned from decades of stealth experience and applying cutting-edge technologies in design, materials, and artificial intelligence. Every detail of the fuselage, screws, joints, curves, was optimized to minimize radar reflections and heat emissions. While the B-2 relied on a special metallic-based coating to absorb radar, the B-21 is constructed from its internal structure using stealth composite materials. AI was used to simulate electromagnetic interactions in extremely complex scenarios, enabling near real-time adjustments during the design process. Stealth technology is not a recent invention. Its roots go back to the 1970s. Its production cost was extremely high, maintenance was complex and demanding, and its stealth, while formidable, had specific vulnerabilities, especially from the rear and side angles. With the advancement of Russian and Chinese air defenses in recent decades, it became evident that a successor was needed. In the late 1980s, a new milestone emerged: the B-2 Spirit. However, despite its impressive qualities, the B-2 faced significant limitations. This means it can be quickly reconfigured to perform various strategic roles, including the rise of the B-21 radar. The B-21 is not just an update to the B-2, it represents a complete break from previous generations of bombers. Visually, the B-21 retains the flying wing philosophy, but with more compact dimensions and even smoother lines. Its seemingly simpler shape hides a complex arrangement of meticulously aligned surfaces, developed to scatter radar waves in all directions. What designers refer to as 360-degree stealth. This means that no matter what direction enemy radar comes from, the B-21 maintains an almost invisible profile. Millimetric precision and artificial intelligence in design. The B-21's design would be impossible without recent advances in computational modeling and artificial intelligence. Another highlight is the materials used, which is essential in future scenarios involving intense electronic warfare in denied environments, where communications are cut and decisions must be made locally by intelligent systems. It was designed as a long-life platform, able to adapt to future threats through modular updates. In fact, the B-21's lighter coloration in public images may indicate the use of new coating layers that balance absorption, dispersion, and durability, going beyond the traditional thick black paint of its predecessors, thermal silence and eye-lingual invisibility. The B-21, on the other hand, was born with this specific mission: to penetrate so-called A2, a D-zoned anti-access area denial, where any air intrusion depends on absolute technological superiority. The B-21 fulfills all these requirements. It's not just a bomber. It is a central piece of a new warfare ecosystem, where sensors, manned and to vanish immediately afterward. The B-21 radar establishes itself as America's invisible trump card, and unmanned platforms and artificial intelligence work together to create an invisible yet lethal air force. One of the biggest challenges in stealth aircraft lies in the engines, especially the air intakes and exhausts, which generate heat detectable by infrared sensors. The B-2 had already taken an important step by embedding its engines within the wing, but it still produced emissions that could be tracked by passive radar and thermal sensors. The B-21 takes this strategy to the extreme. Its air intakes are deeply buried inside the fuselage, connected to curved S-shaped ducts that completely block line of sight to the engine's compressor blades, one of the brightest spots on radar. Meanwhile, the exhausts are designed to reduce the IR bloom, the thermal explosions captured by sensors, using active cooling and special nozzles with extremely low heat emissions. When the arms race was defined by bold mega-projects and almost unlimited budgets, the B-21, on the other hand, emerges in a world where efficiency, integration, and adaptability are just as important as brute force. These measures dramatically increase the aircraft's survivability in highly hostile environments with heat-seeking missiles and layered air defenses. Modularity, one aircraft, multiple roles. Unlike traditional bombers, the B-21 was conceived with full modularity. Nuclear or conventional bombing, electronic warfare and communications, jamming, long-range, strategic reconnaissance, real-time, airborne, command and control integration with AI-based networks and autonomous systems. Experts indicate that the B-21 may even operate unmanned, as a drone or in fully autonomous mode. Moreover, the radar will be compatible with weapons still in development, such as hypersonic missiles, air-launched drones, and cyber warfare tools, ready to face the most advanced adversaries. While the B-2 is still effective against forces with limited defenses, like Iran, it was not designed to survive cutting-edge systems such as Russia SS-400 and S-500 or China's integrated air defense networks. These environments require an aircraft to be not just invisible, but also resilient, adaptable, and integrated into smart combat networks. The end of one era, the start of another. The retirement of the B-2 marks the close of a cycle that began at the height of the Cold War. Its operational cost is lower, maintenance is simplified, and its modular construction allows for continuous upgrades without the need to develop an entirely new aircraft every decade. This makes it a strategic solution not just for today, but for future generations of conflict. In a world where deterrence increasingly depends on the ability to act before being detected,